to Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're being intentionally vague.
Oh, well.
Except for that one part where Johnny Silverhand kills Soul's character.
Yeah, like he appears in D&D and just
Yeah, marks.
I'll send you. Oh, rather than saying it out loud, I'll send you to a PM.
Please and thank you.
But you are right.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
Like, I got it only for the achievement because I wanted the achievement for it.
I don't know. I've seen. I'll just say this.
I guess the game title of D&D does not exist.
There we go.
Nah, but well, it's the worst ending for your character possible.
I'm sure.
However, with that said,
We are live,
it's
by the way.
extremely well done.
Ooh.
It's worth playing through it just to see it. It's so good.
Well, I will be going back to Cyberpunk probably
There's also
soon-ish, so.
there's also a secret ending.
Is it the secret ending I get?
What was the one you got? Send it to me in DM.
We're live, by the way.
Okay, we'll start in a moment. Woo!
That's the secret ending I got.
That's not the secret ending.
Oh.
That's the
I was
temperance
like
ending.
you.
That's the temperance ending. When I play through my Netrunner character, that's the ending I'm going to get. Because they think they'll survive in their forever box. So, the secret ending is the sun. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's the sun is the secret ending. But there is another ending. I'll say this one is. That's the fifth ending.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I just remembered that. So I ended up getting that ending. I'm like, huh. I'm like looking. Things are happening, and I'm just like, well, that's an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, I really liked it in the way it's done because it's like all the reactions of the characters that call you.
Yeah.
It's really tastefully done in the sense of like you think that you're not putting them in danger, but instead you're hurting them in another way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a very anti that sort of message. I really like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I did get that ending. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're good to go. We're all live.
Yeah, we're all
here.
set.
Dinks is
Actually, I
here.
haven't heard Dinks speak in a while.
Screen
Thanks.
my setup.
Hello.
My stream setup is a bit scuffed because my old computer was at 1280 720, but changing all of the numbers and everything to match the
Hmm.
1980 1080 is not easy and
Mm.
would take a lot of time. So I'm not doing that
We,
today.
we should do it before next week.
Mm, if I have the time, I will. But right now I just dropped myself down in.
Okay, okay.
I'll
Okay. Well,
eventually go back to increasing the quality, but
recap time. You guys fought and killed the blighted Hydra thingo and its lizard folk minions.
sure did.
You then climbed the mountain, got to the summit, and you could see from the summit of the mountain the green dragon, Arzenag's lair at the center of the poison wood. In like an old fort surrounded by the blighted forest. So you know where the dragon lives. You hung out at the top of the lair top of the summit for a while until Archie remembered the way to get into his sanctuary by saying his full name. You teleported inside and found a hidden base hundreds of miles beneath the surface with enchanted everything. This was a former Archie produced hidden base. There was an illusory servant called the Steward, who is a illusory clone of Archie, who guided you around, gave Archie his gear and a clone. Bit of that. A warehouse with arms and armor for a small army of 2,000-ish people. Multiple training rooms, a library, research areas, a forging area, anything you could possibly want is here. As well as a gate type structure to teleport you wherever you want to go. And there is a teleportation circle attached to the entry point, so basically Archie can get back here whenever he wants. You begin to use the facilities to train, research, forge, etc. Tykan started training. Well, Tykan got to train against an illusory Arkan the Cruel. So not Arkan the Cruel. William Dark. Tykan got his butt handed to him. I recall.
It's but a scratch.
And then Tykan began to train in the desert of, like, an illusory desert. Scarlet trained against her father and herself, and training, working on the Enduring Mark ability. Tykan's training the Tough Feet. And Archie, Tykan also forged some stuff. Archie began to work on Ed, and also did some work on Charlie. Or the construct in the artificial power core that he got from McIntyre. And came to an agreement with it, if I recall correctly. Yes, Archie?
I think so.
Archie? Yeah. But yeah, you are all, and Thanraya trained as well. You are all in the sanctuary. Tasha's been with you for these 2 days of being in the sanctuary so far. What do you all do to start? Who's doing what in the sanctuary?
I'm still training in the desert.
That you are.
I am still working on the robots.
You are. Is Scarlet still working on the thing? On training?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Well, Archie, as you're in the lab working on this construct, Tasha enters.
hello.
He says, "Hello.
What
This
brings you here?
place is very good, but I do need to get back."
You need to get back now.
I do. I do. I thought I'd ask if there's a means to get back through something you have here. Otherwise, I'll head back myself.
I usher the steward in.
The steward appears. Says, "How can I be of assistance?"
Can you get Tasha back to Waterdeep?
Says, "Of course. Please, this way." And Tasha says, "Should I expect you back in Waterdeep soonish?"
Mm-hmm. Soon as we're done.
Okay, I'll let them know to expect you. With that, she
Very well.
nods and walks away and leaves. Tasha is out of the sanctuary. With that, I presume Tyken's just going to train until Archie's ready to leave. Is that basically the plan?
Yep.
And Scarlet for the same?
Basically.
Cool. So Archie, what do you do? What's your plan?
I need to start working on Charlie and Ed and keep doing that until it's basically almost done.
Okay. So you start the work on that. Charlie, via the illusory interface to be able to talk to him, does inform you of ways that his master Xander made him of Netherese designs for more compact constructs that aren't so large. Things, ways to interface, ways to build. For the sake of brevity, do you collect the bits that you said you were going to do?
Yeah. I was just about to say that. Yeah, I'll go and collect the stuff that I need.
Yep. So at some point, Scarlet and Tyken, Archie leaves the facility for a bit, teleporting away.
I'll be right back.
I'm not going anywhere.
Teleporting away, Archie, you find the bits you're looking for from a list of parts that Charlie provides you. Parts that are probably quite hard to make yourself, but there's plenty of them in Akantea. So you get back there without issue. You can get there, find the parts you need, and return probably the next day after a day of wandering about. And continue to work on the construct. Have all the parts you need. I'll get you to make me an intelligence check with advantage to see how long it takes you to put together this new body for Charlie. Cool. Where are my dice? It takes you 2 days of constant work, Archie. Based on the 13.
Yo.
So this is 3 days have gone by this session for Scarlet and Tyken. Worth of training. We'll do all your rolls for training at the end. But at the end of a lot of hard work, Archie, the final parts of the new body for Charlie/Ed are all together. You double check all the components. All the connections are in place. Everything is working. All that's left, Archie, is to connect the power core.
I'll rub sweat up my brow and look at it.
Yep.
A lot more compact.
It's crazy advanced. It's like a combination of Archie's knowledge, both past and present, and also Netherese tech combined.
I grabbed the power core.
Do you get Tycan and Scarlet first, or just do it?
I'm gonna grab the power core and walk out to the training area with it.
Okay. As Tycan, you are in the middle of training in the desert when suddenly the door opens. And Scarlet, same deal. Across the hall, the door opens. You see Archie there holding a power core.
I take it whatever you're doing is complete.
I need you to come see the final part. I'm about to create a life.
Oh, I will gladly.
A little less dramatic, but you know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I do a big pearly grin. I sort of arch my back up like I'm freaking proud of myself. Not many people can say that they can create life within 2 days. So I quickly look at the power core and then back to Tycan.
You're welcome.
Anyway, come. I drop my facade and then walk back to the room with
Okay.
the robot.
And the purpose of this, Thanray is just training so hard that it's not worth interrupting her.
Mhm.
As you will make your way through the halls and get back to the laboratory, where you walk in and see. Did I upload art of Charlie? I think I did, didn't I? I didn't. What is this nonsense? I'm gonna drag his token in so you can see. Where are you at? You're on the world map. You are.
Yeah, we are.
You see a construct that looks sort of like this. It is humanoid size. It is a medium creature. Like, both of you recognize Netherese design in its construction. Elements of Ed too, but it's medium sized. It is standing there. I imagine currently it's sort of being held aloft by a series of mechanical arms. And there is a slot in its chest for a particular power core that Archie's holding.
I'm gonna
I
walk up
imagine
to
as well.
Tycan.
Yep.
And I'm going to place the power core in his hand.
What do I do with this?
I want to have a serious little talk with you first.
All right.
As you know, this being, what it did didn't really sit wired right with you.
No, it did not.
That being said, it understands exactly what it did and the repercussions of it. It's not a nice thing, but it wants to change. It wants to help. It wants to relieve itself of a burden that was chosen yet forced upon it, being a mechanical being. It was following orders. You know how that goes sometimes.
I suppose.
I sort of like put a hand on Tyken's gigantic shoulder. That's where you come in.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not happy. I know a couple of us weren't happy about it. Just know that Charlie here, I point at the power core, also wasn't happy. He lost the only thing that gave him purpose in life. Sound similar?
I see what you're doing. You're correct, but I don't like it.
That being said, you follow something that can help Charlie on his path to redemption.
Yes.
And I want you to help with that. That being said, this is a very contradictory thing that I'm going to talk to my God about. And you're going to come with me. So are you. Point to Scarlet. And so is he. I'll point to Charlie. An artificial soul that brings life. Something outside the bounds of the world and the gods.
As Archie says that, Tykan, holding
Mhm.
the core in your hand, looking at it. As a paladin, you're attuned to the souls of creatures around you, right?
I would imagine.
Looking at this power core, it's not just electrical. It's not just some arcane construct. There's a little wisp inside it, which has the essence of a very real soul.
Kind of squints, looks at it.
Would you like to
Says-
use your divine sense on it?
Sure.
As you sort of squint at it and sort of take it in, while you can't sense necessarily a person, you do get a vague sense of if they are good or bad. You can sense, I believe it's Fey Fiend Undead.
Fey Fiend,
things you-
Celestial, Undead.
Yep.
Not mistaken.
So, you don't sense Fey Fiend, Celestial, Undead. But, unlike Archie and Scarlet, it isn't like you don't sense anything. Like when you sense Archie and Scarlet, you don't sense anything from them as far as that is concerned. There's something from this construct. It doesn't fall into any of the categories for anything, but it's definitely not like Archie and Scarlet. It's like it's something new. And the one thing you do get from it, Tygan, good. An overwhelming desire to be good. Or to do good.
He says, well, I'll see what I can do.
I'm not asking you to give it a go. I'm just asking you to guide.
He'll nod.
I point to the plug-in slot for the core.
It's like an open hole in its chest.
He'll start for it and he'll be like, shouldn't like Kellenvor give the okay on this? Or something.
This is what we're going to go talk to Ayun about.
Alright. And he'll just say, I apologize in advance as he plugs it in.
As you push it in, it clicks into place. As it clicks into place, suddenly you hear the sound of vague humming coming from the construct. Before suddenly the chest plate folds over and covers up the power core, protecting it. and the lights blink on its eyes. It's still being hung up by the mechanical claws that are holding it in place. But it looks about, you hear the motors whirring as the head turns. It says, I have a body again.
Mm-hmm.
He then looks down at you, Taikan, and says, Hello, I am Charlie.
I am Tyken.
You disabled me before.
I did.
I understand why.
But we'll fix the why.
I'll be right back.
Will.
Dinner is ready, and it's make your own pizza day.
Okay.
I apologize.
Wow. As the construct looks at you, Taikan, and says, I believe an explanation. I am not sure what he told you, and gestures at Archie.
What I needed to know.
It says, it nods and says, I am artificial. I do not know if I will go to a heaven or a hell if I die. But I believe what I have done, I am deserving of a hell. I do not think I can atone for what I have done. But I wish to try, if you will allow it.
I'd be hypocritical if I did not. I've atoned for worse.
Says, I am sorry.
It was not your fault, it was my own. But if I can, I'm sure you will be able to. But
It says-
firstly, the important thing is we needed to find out whether or not you're allowed to exist.
It says, a valid question. I've always been out of place. May I be let down, please?
Oh yeah, I pressed the button.
The mechanical claws lower the body to the ground and let go, and you see Charlie stand there on his own 2 feet. Bit wobbly at first, but within moments he gains balance and you see he's stable.
Everything's good.
Everything is functioning as normal.
Very good.
You watch as Charlie sort of takes a few moments, sort of looking at his own hands and things. You watch as he moves a hand to the side, and as he does, a brief, tiny wall of force appears next to him, as if he's testing abilities. He holds his arm forward, and a blade shoots out of his arm, making a makeshift arm blade sword. It retracts. He then opens his hand and fires a bolt of force at a wall. You watch as the arms sort of articulate and unfold, and various spell components are revealed hidden within the arms that Archie put there.
Fine.
He says, I believe I'll be able to help in this body.
What I'm seeing, more than likely.
He says, I have been loaded with abilities from based on my former body, which was not a combat construct. and abilities components from the larger combat constructs. May I demonstrate?
We should
I won't
probably head to the
stop him.
training room.
Charlie says, "Of course. I can demonstrate something here, though."
Sure.
As Charlie steps up to you, Taikan,
Mhm.
may I? As he gestures to touch you.
Yes.
He puts a hand on you, and as he does, whatever damage you had taken from your training in the desert, you suddenly heal as he casts Cure Wounds on you.
Ooh, that's fun. That's spicy.
He says, "I am capable of healing, creating water, creating food, detecting poisons, healing wounds, creating light." As he moves a hand and a small bit of the arm articulates, and suddenly there are 4 beads of light floating around you. And my functions of service are still intact as he moves his hands again, and suddenly Tiger, and whatever dust was on you is cleaned off as he casts Prestidigitation. I can also create fire as the hand opens up and a ball of fire appears in his hand. He says, "My capabilities for reading minds remain, but I assure you I will not use it without your consent."
Appreciated.
You wish to take me to the training room?
Oh,
As he gestures for you to lead him. You go to a training room, yes?
mm-hmm.
You step inside an empty training room, and you're inside. What do you want to do in there?
I set up a few chump enemies.
For Charlie to fight by himself?
Yep.
Charlie says, "May I request an ally in this fight?"
Sure. I summon a
You give-
Scarlet.
Okay. An illusory Scarlet appears. Without rolling initiative or anything, Tyken and Archie, you watch as this battle commences. Charlie uses that projectile launcher on his hand to shoot bolts of force energy at the enemies. Ones that get too close, he uses an arm blade to attack. When an enemy attacks Scarlet, Charlie produces a tiny wall of force to protect Scarlet. He's quite capable in combat. Not as strong as Ed was, but the addition of range attacks and his smaller size is definitely useful.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tiger, and you watch this. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Charlie turns to you, Will, and says, "This body is more capable in combat than my previous form. I will be able to help this way."
Yep.
He walks up to you, Archie, and bows before you and says, "Thank you for offering me this chance."
Well, there's other people that have say on that matter.
He nods and turns to you, Tygan.
Mm-hmm.
"Thank you for allowing me this chance."
Do not thank me. Thank Helm. I am merely a
Says,
messenger.
"I see. I'm not capable of communicating with Helm."
Anyone is.
Okay.
You just got to try.
"I will try." Charlie says, "What now?"
We have someone to speak to.
Says, "Of course. I'm happy to speak."
Come with me. I should
Follows.
everyone to come with me.
Okay. Where are you heading to?
To the room for me to go commune with Ayun.
Hmm. Okay. As you, Archie, lead the group to the library. You walk into the library. You see a series of shelves and bookcases, multiple empty bottles of wine sitting about from where Tasha was here for 2 days.
Mhm.
And you remember where this is, Archie. So you go to the shelf at the back wall of the library.
Mhm.
There are 2 books out of order on the shelf.
Yep. I'll put
It's
them back
very,
in order.
as it's very subtle for anyone but Archie, but you guys watch as Archie just picks up 2 books and swaps them over and puts them back in. And as he does, suddenly the ground shakes and the bookshelves slide open to either side, revealing a doorway into another chamber that's been hidden.
Ooh.
Going
What
through
is-
the door, you see a circular chamber. The walls inscribed with arcane runes, a series of cushions on the ground in the center of the chamber, candles that immediately light upon the door being opened. This is a ritual chamber. Hycan, you know holy magic.
Yes, sir.
As you step into the chamber, it looks like an Archie style room, just a private space. The runes on the walls look a bit odd, but that's sort of okay. Then you look up, Tygan, and see what's on the roof. The entire, like 25 feet across, like 25 feet diameter circular room, the roof is filled with a large magical circle with like glyphs and runes in it, which looks to be divine magic in nature, not arcane.
He claps. How I work.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, Tycan, you recognize that one on the roof is exactly the sort of thing, very, very powerful conduits for the gods, like, high level clerics and stuff, would use to commune directly with their patron.
Ooh.
As you will go in.
Yes, sir.
Yay. Charlie steps in and looks about at the place. Scarlet's there as well. And Archie, you go.
Mhm.
Archie, you know how to use this. Once everyone's in the room, all you need to do, Archie, is expend a 3rd level spell slot to activate the rune on the roof.
I do that.
As you all take a seat on the cushions,
Sir.
and Archie, you look up and release the spell, mark up the spell slot. And suddenly, the whole room changes around you. It all warps and fades. Suddenly, you're not in that room anymore. Why don't I have a ambience for that? That's annoying. Suddenly, you are in a place. The floor is white marble. On either side of you are bookshelves, just stretching up hundreds of feet, even taller. As you look up, the bookshelves on either side of you seem to stretch and warp and wind together. They go up miles. And all the shelves are full of books. You're in a corridor of these bookshelves going off in either direction, and they just sort of the corridors wind off around corners. At this point, you notice each other's bodies are not the same. You're all partially transparent.
This is
Archie,
unsettling.
yeah, you're all partially transparent. As Archie, you recognize what this is. This is a form of astral projection.
Mhm.
Your real bodies are back in the sanctuary, but your astral forms are here.
Yep.
You then notice Charlie.
I'm back for a bit.
Okay. Archie has taken you to his secret room in his library in order to see someone, he said. You sat down in this room, Archie activated the thing, and now you're in a library surrounded by bookshelves which go up miles. And also, you have Charlie with you. He's alive.
Nice.
But you've all appeared in this library. Your bodies are partially transparent. And the bookshelves go up miles. When you all see Charlie, he doesn't look like the robot. He looks like a vaguely humanoid form. Sort of blurred at the edges, almost like a silhouette of a person. What do you all do?
Not my deity here, so I'm just gonna let Archie take the lead.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to the usual table that I sit by.
As you begin to walk along these pathways, you hear the sound of wood sliding on stone as the bookshelves seem to shift and move around you. The path behind you closed off as you are ushered forward by the bookshelves moving. Do any of you want to stop and look at the books? Or do you want to keep moving following
Sure.
Archie? Cool.
I'll have to glance at some while I'm walking. I've got long legs. I'll catch up.
Cool. As you divine sense, Tycan, you will notice something. There are these spectral creatures that just floating floating almost like transparent orbs, zipping along the line of where you are and above you. Some of them stopping at bookshelves, stopping, placing a book and leaving. Others picking up a book and taking it. Tyken, you sense celestial from all of these creatures, all of these orb-like creatures flying around.
Okay, they're okay.
You also sense a variety of alignments. Every alignment coming from various books. You sense some good, some neutral, some evil, and they're coming from the books.
Oh,
The books do not have any titles on them. Like not on the spine of the book. But you sense alignments from them. Not type, alignment. It seems that some aspect of this place is different. Do you pick one up?
yes.
As you know what alignment they are, which alignment do you want to pick up?
The lawful good.
Cool. As you find one book that is lawful good, and as you pull back the cover, as you pull it back, there's no name on the spine. They're just nameless books. But on the front cover of the book is a name, Eleanor Faringray. Just a name. That's it.
Nothing in the book?
As you open it, do you open it to the front page?
Yes, sir.
As you open to the front page, there is crying and screaming and a light. And you realize you're reading about a birth. What do you do?
He would look at it. Let's go to the second to last page.
Cool. As you go to the second to last page, it describes an old woman. The lead priestess of a church of Bahamut, of Temple of Bahamut. Standing in defiance of a bunch of raiders who have come to take the temple's gold.
Let's go. The final stand.
The last page talks about how in her last moments she allowed for her entire congregation to flee and escape alive. And that she fell fighting these raiders. And that her soul went to Bahamut's realm.
That's nice.
And you get a sense, Tyken, these are all people's stories. This is everyone who ever was ever is here. And you sense there are evil ones amongst them. There are neutral ones. There's everyone.
He's good. He doesn't need to read the evil ones.
Yep. I mean, Tyken would understand. There's a range of evil. Like, it isn't like you're always devils.
Yeah. But the thing is, he doesn't want to open one and find out it's like, the Night Stalker.
Yeah. What you do notice as well, though, Tyken notices this. You all notice this. The one Tyken picked up, this woman was probably in her 70s when she died. The book is quite thick. It is every moment of her life. Some of the books are incredibly thick. Some of them are more than a foot thick.
Those are the elves, I'm assuming.
Those are the elves, most likely. There are also books that only have 3 pages. You get a sense that the thickness of the book is directly related to how old they are. As Archie, you watch Tyken reading this book, but what do you want to do?
I'm gonna keep moving.
Oh, As you keep moving, the bookshelves keep shifting. I presume Tyken puts back the book.
Oh yeah, where he found it too. He's not one of those people.
Yep. Cool. As you put it back, Tyken, one of those orbs flies in right in front of your face, takes the book and slightly adjusts it to be exactly the way it was, and then flies off again.
Iken will remember this and try his best if he picks up any more.
Yep. Archie leading the group. Charlie is keeping his hands to himself and he's just sort of watching as you're walking along. Archie, the
Mhm.
bookshelves keep shifting and moving.
I keep walking.
Before, you see a circular room with cushions in the center, extremely similar in layout to the one you just left from the sanctuary. You get a sense Archie constructed that room based on this room. A about 25 feet across circular chamber. The walls are bookshelves, full of books. Sitting in the center of the chamber, sipping from a little cup of tea, is what looks to be an old woman who's humming to herself in a delightful little tune and reading a book. Okay, your divine sense is still up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, celestial. This is a celestial so powerful you've never felt anything like it before. You get a sense, Tycan, that's a god.
Woohoo! Tyken likes meeting deities.
As the old lady is in there reading this book and humming to herself, and she looks up at you. And as she looks up at you, she looks quite frail. Probably looks humanish. Probably in her 70s or 80s. Looks like. The thing that's most distinguishing about her is the purple third eye on her forehead.
That's how she reads so fast.
She smiles at you and says, "Archie, welcome." And Tycan,
Oh.
Scarlet.
Hmm. Okay.
It is not our first meeting, Archie. It is ours for Scarlet and Tycan. Please sit. Tea?
Yes.
Of course.
As you say that, suddenly a cup of tea's in your hand, Archie.
Oh, glorious.
Does Scarlet and Tycan take tea?
Of course. I'm not
Yep.
gonna deny deity tea.
Deity.
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 As the tea's given to you, Charlie is standing at the back of the room awkwardly.
You, Mayor.
He's just-
Mayor.
Yes, yes, and he seems nervous. As the woman looks at him and says, "I know who you are, Charlie. You are welcome here." And Charlie bows and approaches and takes a sit. The woman says, "Archie knows who I am, but in case you were not aware, I am Ayun."
I had an assumption.
You've always been quite wise. Says, "I sense you're here not just to visit, Archie, but for questions."
I'm always here for questions.
Not always.
No,
Before you
true.
would drop by to say hello.
The world has changed. The hellos have been a little more far in between.
They have been. I assure you the tea remains the same.
Yes, it does. Lovely as always.
Mm. He says, "You have questions. I'm happy to help."
The first one would probably address the elephant in the room here.
Her gaze shifts to Charlie. Yes. What about him?
I want to know your stance about Charlie, as well as what you would know or think the other god's stance would be.
Charlie is an interesting one.
Specifically on Helm, please. As some of the deities I'm not too fond, or not exactly the importance of opinion. Like Cyric. Nobody likes Cyric.
He says,
Oh,
yes. My opinion on Charlie is that he thinks, he feels. She waves a hand, and one of those spectral orbs flies down from an upper shelf and drops a book in her hand. She opens it and reads a few pages silently and smiles, and then closes it. And then holds the book up for you all to see, and it has the name Charlie on it. As far as I am concerned, he has a book, he has a place. The others are more difficult to predict. What he has done is an abomination in the eyes of Helm. But he wishes to atone. So perhaps Helm could offer him that forgiveness. I can only tell you for certain what I know myself, and that I believe him to be belonging. You would need to ask the others for their opinion.
Well, very well.
He says, I am sorry, I am not able to entirely predict what all of the others will do. They can be fickle sometimes.
I'm sure the actions will speak louder than words.
Yes, some of them do like action.
A lot of them like action.
Hmm. He says, but you should know that I think he deserves the right to live. She
Good
holds
enough
the
for
book up
me.
again. She holds the book up again and says, his story is still being written. And then she flips open to a page, and you can see words appearing on the page describing your very conversation right now. And there are plenty of pages left. She smiles and then closes the book and holds it up, and one of those orbs carries it away.
Mhm.
She sips her tea and waits for your next question.
The next question would be, is there any way that I can get some information upon the four encroaching presences that are going to try and destroy us upon Eorzea? Those that
Was-
were resurrected by Tiamat.
He says, "Yes, you speak of William Dark,
Yes.
Echo, Malice, and Alexei.
Yes.
While their stories are still being written, she holds her hands up high, and four orbs float down, each carrying a book. The books are held in front of you, levitating on these four creatures. You see William Dark's book. You see, I think I find my backstory. There we are. You see the name Alexei on one book. You see the name Echo on one book. And you see the name Malice on one book.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to read them.
Sure. I'm gonna open one up,
Which one?
which is gonna be the dark one.
Okay. It starts off the same as every book.
Well, I think my dinner's ready. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go to the bathroom as well while I wait for Sol because it's important. But a thing's gonna happen. Back in a sec.
All right.
And I'm back. Hello, hello,
Okay.
hello. So as Archie, you open the book.
Yep.
It starts off as text describing the birth of William Dark.
Uh-huh.
And as you begin to flip through the pages, Archie,
Mm-hmm.
looking for the bits that are relevant,
Yep.
suddenly everything goes a blinding white light, Archie. For you as well, Tyken, and for Scarlet, and for Charlie. You no longer read the book. You're shown what happened.
Oh, here we go.
You guys watch as you see William being groomed to be Tiamat's champion. You see Elturel disappear. You see them work through Baldur's Gate. You see them go to Hell, go to Avernus, fight their way through Elturel, get to the ground of Elturel, make deals with devils, and deal with Arkan the Cruel. You see the entire adventure of the Sentinel of Avernus.
Huh. I wonder why they didn't stab that old man.
It's like a rapid showing of images. And then you see. And then you see, at the end of it, his job is done. He settles down with Rhea. You see You see him marry Rhea. You see them move into the Dark Estate in Baldur's Gate. You see he has a son. He has a daughter. You see Rhea is expecting another child. And then you hear sounds of combat at the entrance to the estate. You watch as 30 well armored knights bearing the armor of the Order of the Blue Moon, led by a man, Scarlet's father, raid the Dark Estate, cutting down every member of the Dark family. William's mother, father, every sibling, every relative, everyone that has the Dark name is brutally cut down by Scarlet's father and Scarlet's father's men. You watch as William, while he does join the fight, he stands to protect Rhea and his children.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as a brutal melee ensues, in which William stands alone against more than a dozen of Scarlet's father's best men and Scarlet's father himself. Until finally, William is cut down. He's standing protecting his family. William's arm is cut off by Scarlet's father. And there's only one of all of the dozen men that came in to fight William, only one survived. As William bleeds out on the floor, watching his final moments, watching this, you watch as Scarlet's father looks back to the one surviving man and says, "Check the other rooms. I will take care of this." The soldier nods and leaves. You watch as Scarlet's father turns to Rhea, who's probably about 3 or 4 months along with this child, standing in front of her son, who looks about 6 years old, and their daughter, who she's holding the daughter in her arms, and the daughter's about 2 years old. You watch as Scarlet's father says, "I take no pleasure in this. A member of the Dark family will end up leading Tiamat's forces. We have to make sure that does not happen." And he draws his sword. Rhea puts her daughter down and draws her own. And you watch as while Rhea is very good at combat, Scarlet's father is better, and he cuts her down. And then cuts down William's 6-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter with absolutely no mercy. William's last moment is on the ground watching his family dead before he fades.
I don't blame him for coming back cranky after that.
What the book does, what you do see in particular in this moment is Scarlet's father did not enjoy it. Tyken, you're pretty sure that broke him. This was a man following orders. And you do hear Scarlet's father say under his breath as he's swinging his sword something you recognize very well, Tyken, as it is one of the tenets of the Order of the Blue Moon. Victory at any cost. And Scarlet's father says that to himself as he swings his sword. Like, driving him on to do it.
At least he put his money where his mouth is.
In particular, Tyken, you see him whisper to himself, "Victory at any cost, even if it means my soul," before he swings.
Don't start talking crazy now.
Mm.
Sounds like someone from my group smile.
Mm.
The
Um, the vision goes dark.
I see what you did there.
Before the vision goes dark as suddenly it flashes back. You see a desert. You see William brought back from the dead. There's no one around him, but there's a voice in his head. The voice of Tiamat. That says to him, "You want vengeance. I can give it to you. I can give your family back. All I ask in return is you give me Waterdeep."
There it is.
William kneels. William kneels and says, "Then it shall be done. I'm going to need a team."
This is an Avengers level threat. I'm going to do
Yeah.
I'm snapping.
I'm
It's
go-
not working. I'm snapping. It's not working.
I'm going to need a team. You hear Tiamat's voice whispering in his mind say, "Name them."
Oh god, here we go.
And that's where the vision fades back, as you get a sense. He's had his pick and choice of who he wants.
Oh, I look at IE and I'm like, I think you know where my next question is going to go. Right?
Believe so. But ask anyway.
The bargaining chip is his family.
Alright, say that again, you cut out a bit.
The bargaining chip is his family.
Yes, they've been promised their safe return.
Is there a way for me to get the family?
Perhaps. To
might
locate
have
the
the un-
souls. Well, not all are free to be returned.
The thing is, considering what was done for these people was to try to preempt what inevitably happened, so that devs are no longer held accountable to holding something at bay. Correct?
He nods. She nods and says, "What happened to them was an unfortunate misreading of a prophecy."
So they should have every right to come back, as they should.
Says, "I agree, but it isn't just 2 lives or 3 that were taken. If not, if one must be brought back, then what gives them the right over another?" I say this only as I must maintain a neutral position. You understand?
And
I
I'll
still-
hit that neutral position with a counter argument. I completely understand the other lives should be brought back too. The thing is, the significance of these lives could save Faerun as we know it.
Mm.
I took a lot of lives in Neverwinter. Well, did I have the right to take them? No, I did anyway. Because I thought it would save the world.
Hmm.
Yet, who was brought back? Me.
Says, he
Why?
says,
Because I have the ability to change things.
he says, what happened with William Dark and his family was a tragedy. You will understand this. She gestures at you, Taiken.
Yes.
There was a saying from an ancient warrior of Helm many thousands of years ago, which I believe is apt in this situation. You see, Scarlet's father was attempting to end a war before it started,
Mm-hmm.
but every time somebody attempts to end a war before it starts, it's innocent people getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
William Dark was not innocent for his beliefs in Tiamat, but he was innocent of the crime of leading Tiamat's army, for he had not
Precisely.
committed it. Would you like to know where the souls are of William's family?
Yes, I
Yes.
do.
She gestures her hand and a book apparates in her hand, which you see is Rhea Dark.
Hmm.
She flips to the back and sighs and shakes her head. Tiamat is cunning.
She took them, didn't she?
She did. They are held. Tiamat has ensured that only Tiamat can bring them back.
Huh.
I don't remember who the Hell Riders followed. It was Tyr, wasn't it?
Sorry, say again.
The Hell Riders followed Tyr, didn't they?
They followed Helm.
Oh, they did?
They followed Helm. Some of them followed Tyr as well, but the favored one was Helm.
Ah. Tyken would say something along the lines of, if she should have gone to Helm, I would like to see that she does.
When this is all over, I believe, if you are successful, that will certainly happen.
I need to have a word with this William Dark.
Ioun replies to that and says, sadly, I believe vengeance has consumed him at this point. William Dark is a stubborn man. Once he has a goal, he pursues it to the detriment of all others.
I'll give him a new goal.
Leads into the next question. How do we stop that? I have an army. Like,
I've stopped one before.
the thing is, we're going to be tied up with William and Co. As well as the counterintelligence that they have inside that have probably been trying, or will be trying to get inside Waterdeep either way.
Ioun says, they are not ready to move on Waterdeep. Plans are being put together. Errands are being run. There will be a battle at Waterdeep, though. That much is clear.
This is rough.
He
I mean,
says,
not only do we have to deal with dragons, we need to deal with freaking an army from hell.
he says, As you once told me before, Archie, you know it will not be easy.
It's something that needs to be done either way.
You also told me, Archie, doing the right thing generally is never easy.
Hmm.
With that, the book of William Dark floats away, leaving you with the book for Malice, Echo, and Alexi.
I'm going to flick through the rest of the books. I'm not going to go into heavy detail. I just want the knowledge on them pretty much.
Yep, cool. You get a, I'll skim through it, but you
Yeah.
do get a vision of each of them. Let's go with I'll wait for Sol to get back from Echo.
I was going to say
Malice.
Echo is the one that I would want to know the most about because it's the one that
Yep.
we actually have no information on. The other two we
Yep.
have information on.
Yep.
So
Yep. So you didn't have much information on Malice actually.
we have a little bit, not much though.
So Malice. You see firstly, vision of a drow child who's barely a toddler being abducted by drow special forces as the child's parents are killed. The child is then thrown into a drow scientist lab type idea with dozens of other children, and you watch as any attempt to be disobedient is whipped out of them. Their names are taken away. They are whipped and then trained. They are taught that they are gifted, and indeed Malice was gifted. But at the point she didn't have a name. She was simply called Subject 11.
I can't
You see that
believe we're
she's
talking about an imperial assassination training regime in the church
mm,
for 40k.
mm, basically, yeah. She's called Subject 11, and you notice that she's indeed gifted. She's what Archie and Tychon will recognize to be a sorcerer.
Mhm.
In particular, shadow magic. But you watch as she spends her entire young life being trained.
All right,
beaten,
I'm back for
and
real this time.
cool. I'm going to quickly skip back to what we talked about before. Scarlet.
Yeah.
You saw William Dark's backstory.
Oh. Well,
You
I
saw
know that.
you saw the Sentinel of Venice campaign. You saw that, and then you saw William marries Rhea. They have 2 children. Ray is expecting a third. When your father marches in with 30 of his best men and puts the entire Dark family to slaughter.
Damn.
Your father has a dozen men at his side as he fights William Dark. William kills all but one of the men and injures your father. Your father orders that last man to go and search other rooms. Your father then closes the door. As William Dark is bleeding out, he is unable to help as your father cuts down Rhea, who is pregnant with a child, and then William's 6-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter.
Jesus Christ.
As he does that, he says, "I take no pleasure in doing this, but this must be done. There must be victory at any cost, even if it is at the cost of my soul."
But why?
Oh, sorry, I did skip that. They were given orders to kill anyone with the Dark family name because they were prophesized to be someone with the Dark family name is prophesized to be the leader of Tiamat's armies,
Mm.
and they were trying to cut it off before it happened.
I see.
And as you see this, Scarlet, you see what he did. You have a brief flashback.
What? Oh boy.
You recall the day your father left with those 30 men to on a secret mission. All you knew about the mission was they were going to eliminate a general of Tiamat's armies. You did not have a name.
I see.
And you recall when they came back. Of your father plus 30 men, only 4 men plus your father returned. And your father was missing an eye.
Hmm.
You recall the moment you greeted your father at the door to your estate as he returned. What did you say to him when he returned?
uh, uh,
As you open the door for him?
welcome back.
He simply nods.
Everything go as planned.
He looks different, Scarlet, and you realize that after he returned, he was different. He doesn't answer your question directly. He looks past you, like he's looking at something in the distance, and says, "It's done." And then he pushes past you and goes straight to his office.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't say anything else, but she's going to just assume that everything. Well, it kind of went to plan. It kind of didn't.
Hmm.
Is what
Yep.
she's going
So,
to assume.
So at the time, Scarlet, you thought it was he just lost 26 men on one raid,
Mm-hmm.
and you thought that's what it was. That's why he was like that. That's why he locked himself in his office. That's why you could hear him breaking down. That's why you could hear him have a shot of that alcohol.
Yep.
Now you know the truth. Now you know why.
He sold his soul to get rid of something that he thought would be forever.
Yep. He followed your orders oath, which is victory at any cost.
Mm.
Yeah. So you saw that. Now you know the backstory for that. And and also William was restored from by Tiamat. You saw this as well.
Yep.
And you saw that Tiamat promised the return of his family alive after William takes Waterdeep for Tiamat.
Repeat that.
That's William. Sorry, William has been promised to have his family restored to life by Tiamat if he takes Waterdeep for Tiamat.
Mm.
And Ayun has shown you that his family's souls are currently being held by Tiamat.
I see.
So they can't be brought back by anyone else because they're held. So you saw all that. Now you know that. You were looking into Malice's backstory now. So you all see this child, this drow child, kidnapped from her parents killed, told she's a sorcerer, trained to use her magic, and you watch as she's whipped into submission. Each of you watch. You watch as she gets a bit older, maybe about 7 or 8 years old. Archie, you see what drow scientists do, and it's awful.
Yep.
They cut her open. They install magical gemstones, which you recognize to be magical focuses in her body. They don't knock her out for this. She's awake.
Oh.
You watch as she gets older, 8 years old, 9 years old. Every year that goes past, there are fewer and fewer children in the cages as each of them die due to training or surgeries or whipping. She is trained to use her power. She executes prisoners, people that are put before her, and she's told, kill that one. And she does so with her shadow magic. She's trained more and more and more. She's only referred to as Subject 11, although as there are fewer children, the subject number becomes irrelevant, so she's instead called the weapon.
The weapon.
The weapon. By the time she's 16, she's the last surviving test subject, and is only called the weapon. That's it. By the time she's 16, she's taken in for the final surgery, and at this point, she has had any element of being able to feel pain removed. Her entire body at this point, Archie, you recognize, is a magical focus. She's a living, breathing magical focus. You watch the final surgery, all of you watch, as her heart is cut out and replaced with a compact portal to the abyss. She blacks out from the surgery, but then wakes up in her cell. She's alive. And she hears the whispers of demons from the abyss whispering to her. And she communicates with them. They promise her purpose beyond being just a weapon. She asks the guards in the prison, what is my purpose? Am I just here to destroy? Like, what is my purpose for being? And the scientist says, you are our weapon. You will destroy the enemies of the Drow. That is your purpose. But she wants more.
Oh.
You watch Archie as the training continues. She's now able to siphon magical power directly from the abyss itself. And Archie, you get a sense she doesn't use spell slots anymore. The raw magical power from the abyss itself is being channeled through her.
A demon
That
weave.
becomes an ultimate weapon of the Drow. You watch as she is put. You watch as she's put into a live demonstration of her power. As she's put up against a group of mind flayers. She's told to destroy them. So she simply raises a hand in their direction. Her eyes go pitch black as night, and you watch as a dozen mind flayers attempt to resist her power and are all instantly crushed, turned to dust, ripped apart, and destroyed. The mind flayers that flee with the knowledge of a Drow super weapon. And you make the connection, Archie, then. Those mind flayers you met in the north, the ones that were looking for a weapon to counter the Drow's weapon, it wasn't a Drow construct. That malice is the weapon that they were looking to counter. You see a few more combats. She crushes a Neothelid in one shot. She destroys a purple worm by squeezing it to death with her telekinetic powers. This goes on until the demons in her head tell her, why are you their prisoner? You can escape. You're more powerful than them. She busts out of her cage. She tears the scientists apart. The remaining ones that she hasn't killed already say, look, Subject 11, please stop. We can help you control your power. She says, I don't need your help. I have my friends in my head. They'll help me now. and my name is Malice. And then she
Oh.
destroys the rest of them.
Oh god. Sick,
You
dude.
watch as she destroys the lab, kills everyone inside, and makes her way out of the lab, where an entire Drow army is amassed to take her out. After a long drawn out battle, she is finally killed, and her body is turned to dust as they make sure she is gone via the disintegration spell.
And now she's back.
She was 16 when she died.
Huh.
Suddenly, there's a flash. She's in the desert. The blinding light causes her to squint as she looks about, and then you hear William's voice. I chose you to join my team. Will you help me? She says, what's in it for me? And William says, what do you want? I can offer you anything. And Malice says, I want to live, to do what I want. William says, I understand. Your former masters would have you destroy without any promise of reward. If you destroy for me, when the work is done, you will have your freedom. She stands up and says, deal. And that's where the vision ends.
Hmm.
As you all see that. What you will say, will do.
And that's only two of them.
Essentially, just so you know, for out of game purposes, essentially she's a sorcerer but doesn't have to use spell slots. You get a sense.
Busted.
Frighteningly powerful. But you do get a sense that Malice is getting the whispers of these demons in her head, promising her things, talking to her, being her friends because she didn't have anyone else. Ty can say anything into the matter, or
Run that last part by me real quick. My headset cut out.
which part?
Like the last 60 seconds.
Essentially, she's a living, breathing weapon, siphoning power from the abyss itself. Is a magical focus in and of herself. Is obscenely powerful. Is only 16. And the demons in her head are her friends.
Tyken would say, she's savable.
The rest of you say.
She's a child. We can save this one.
This is Malice right there. That's Malice. Ioun speaks up and says, she is a child of tragedy. Tragedy of circumstance.
Where? But this can be fixed.
Maybe if you can cut off the voices in her head.
Precisely. And I may have things to do that.
Hmm.
Who looks at the spell
Anyway.
ceremony?
Sorry? Tygan?
The spell ceremony is what I'm thinking. You can restore a creature to the original alignment.
Mm. The question is, Tygan, she has gone through a 16 years of torture, surgery. She's had her ability to feel pain removed.
As much as Tyken's not gonna like it, there's one deity he's sure that can help. Lathander.
But Archie, you get a sense, based on what you saw of the laboratories in the Drow science area, it was based on your research.
Ugh.
There was definitely an element of we need to make something to match that. That being Archie.
Well, there's not a lot I can do about that.
There is one advantage Archie has over her, you realize. Her power is limited by her age. She's young and doesn't know how to wield it properly. That could be an advantage for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so Archie's going to teach her a lesson.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. While she's really powerful, she's also really young and doesn't know the full extent of her power. They were trying to teach her to control it before she cut it short.
I also think he gave me a big hint that he said she is one big magical focus.
Yep, she's a giant magical focus.
And there's one thing that shuts magical focuses down.
Anti-magic.
Anti-magic.
Yep. But yeah.
On to the next.
On to the next.
think.
It's going to be Alexi or Echo, your choice.
Alexi first, Echo last.
Okay. As you open the book for Alexi, here he is here. You can see. You see a young street kid stealing to survive on the streets, growing up to learning how to be your typical rogue, like, stealing and stabbing and whatever. Becomes really good at what he does. Works his way into organized crime in the city of Baldur's Gate. Ends up becoming the lead assassin for a crime syndicate called the Red Letter, a crime family in Baldur's Gate. Alexi, over his life, becomes extremely good at what he does, to the point where, as you know from the rumors, people thought he was a team and not a single man because he was so skilled. You see, Alexi is given one particular job: to assassinate a man who was a witness to a smuggling operation by the Red Letter. Alexi sees the man. He's ready to kill him, but then finds himself attracted to the man. Alexi decides he's had enough and uses his incredible skill set as an assassin and spy to stage Gabriel's death. Gabriel being the man he was sent to kill. And does such a good job, the Red Letter believes he's done so. Alexi then says to the Red Letter that he wants to leave, settle down. He doesn't want to do this job anymore. The Red Letter offer him a job that is impossible: to eliminate an entire rival crime family. In one night, Alexi does it. Murders the entire crime family, more than 30 individuals, all quite skilled in their own right. And when he's done, he made it look like a flaming fist raid. The Red Letter allowed him to leave. Alexi and Gabriel leave Baldur's Gate and settle down in a quiet corner of Waterdeep, where they live for several years. They adopt a child, a young boy named Cedric. However, the Red Letter finds out about Alexi's little subterfuge. They learn that Gabriel still lives. The Red Letter realizes that They can't ever hope to kill Alexei. He's too skilled, even with years of downtime and just becoming a family man. So the Red Letter organize a series of assassinations and make it look like Alexei was the person who did them, to make it look like Alexei is still active. They then leak a rumor to the Council of Waterdeep that Alexei is living in Waterdeep and planning an assassination on the Council of Waterdeep, in particular Lady Silverhand. The Red Letter give information to the Council of Waterdeep, showing where Alexei is living, hiding out. The Council of Waterdeep act on this information, and Tasha is sent to do the dirty work. Tasha casts Meteor Swarm on Alexei's family home. Alexei watches as Gabriel and Cedric are both killed in the flames, and Alexei is burned alive by the Meteor Swarm and by the subsequent fireballs that follow from Tasha. He burns alive. He then appears in the desert before William Dark. William says, "I've been told you are the best." Alexei says, "I was." William says, "Work for me, and anything you desire, I will give you." Alexei stands up, and he's a big man. He's about the size of William. As Alexei stands up, he says, "If I'm going to work for you, I want two things." William says, "Name them." Alexei says, "The mage who killed me, who killed my family. I want her head. I want to be the one to kill her." William smiles and says, "You want to kill Tasha? Then our goals align. You can have her. What's the second thing you want?" Alexei says, "I want my family returned alive." William says, "Consider it done. Once Waterdeep is ours, you will have them." They then shake hands. The vision fades. It looks like Alexei is in his very late 40s, like he's 48 or 49, as the vision fades. As you see Alexei's backstory. You will do.
We need to inform someone they're in danger.
I do that when we leave.
At this point, Ayun speaks up and says, "His story is a sad one. He wanted peace and was not allowed it." There's something you notice, all of you notice from watching his life flash before your eyes. William has magic at his disposal. He's the chosen of Tiamat. He has magic at his disposal. Malice has magic at her disposal. Alexei doesn't have any magic. It's pure skill from a lifetime of working as a spy. You do or say anything, or move on?
I have nothing to say yet. I want to just move on to the next book for now.
Okay. Okay. As you move on, you flip open this book. This book is actually quite thick. It seems someone from the Feywild is quite old. You see
Mhm.
for the first time, boop, Echo. She is a changeling, female preferred. You see the Fey realm, in particular, a dark section of the Fey realm. You'll recognize, Archie would recognize this to be the more shadowy areas of it, where the gloaming court tends to rule, or of dark Fey and things. You see, as Echo as a child, as a changeling, she is expected to join the ranks of the Unseelie Court's Order of Spies. However, she had a different idea. In a manner similar to what Scarlet would recognize, she wants to fight. And she trains to fight, despite everybody telling her that no, changelings have to be spies. But Echo bucks that trend and trains with the sword.
Hmm.
She works her way through the ranks of the fighting class. Every battle, she acquires new skills. You watch as Echo's signature technique is using a longsword with a little hook on the end, designed to draw blood and run along the blade. And when she drinks the blood, she gains their martial abilities. Uses this ability in combination with her changeling abilities to become extremely strong and dangerous and skilled. Within only 300 years of this, she became the best warrior in one of the Archfey's armies. An Archfey called the Moonlit King. She took her oaths and she followed them without a single fault. Always following her orders, always unquestioning, always honorable in the way she fought. However, you watch as the Moonlit King becomes a bit wary of her ever increasing skill. You see in the book that the Moonlit King is paranoid, and soon this gets the best of him. He begins to believe her to be a legitimate threat to his power. So the Moonlit King gives her a job. Go to a corner of the realm, in the Fey realm. There is an enemy there you must destroy. Echo follows this order without hesitation, and travels there. When she arrives there, she sees the Moonlit King, along with over 100 Fey soldiers and a dozen devils that are vaguely giving off moonlight energy. The chosen elite troops of the Moonlit King. Echo is confused. She says, "My lord, why am I here? Why are you here? Where is the enemy I must face?" The Moonlit King says, "You are strong and loyal, but I cannot allow a strength like yours to exist. This is my last order for you, Echo. Die now by your own blade or by ours." You watch as Echo is shattered, as her life spent in service of someone who will just throw her away. She begins to fight. She summons 3 clones of herself. Out of game, Echo Knight. She fights in a violent last stand against the Moonlit King's army before she manages to land a wound on the Moonlit King himself, on an Archfey, taking his eye. The Moonlit King retaliates with his Archfey magic and paralyzes her in place. She is unable to do anything before she is cut down and turned to dust by the blast of moonlight from the Moonlit Devils. She is resurrected in the Fey realm. Looks about and sees William Dark standing there. He says, I need a warrior. Will you fight alongside me? She says, to what end? William says, I need someone to help me take Waterdeep on the material plane. If you help me, I will help you. What is it you desire? Echo says, I want the entire Unseelie court dead. William smiles and says, very well. Once Waterdeep is ours, I will do that. Echo says, no. I will not help you until my task is done first. William says, very well. I will put the bodies of all the Archfey in the Fey realm at your feet. Echo says, one other thing. I want the Moonlit King myself. William says, very well. You will have him. We must go to the material plane to train first, but once we are ready, I assure you, we will eliminate the Unseelie court. At which point they teleport to the material plane, and that's where the vision ends. You will do. Anyone?
That is interesting.
Gandalia.
I look to Ione and I just sort of hover over the table and say, do you really want them to counteract the balance that hard in the Feywild?
The Fey realm is a chaotic place. If a balance is removed, another one will be found.
True.
But I sense they have not gone to the Fey realm yet. There is time.
Thing is, we don't really have the power to stop them in the Fey realm yet. And we don't really, well, we can forewarn the Fey realm, but will they heed our words?
Ian says, perhaps not over a message. You do have someone who is very persuasive, and she shifts her gaze to Tycan.
You can try.
Persuasive with his blade, yeah. I give a cheeky smile.
Scarlet, from that, you do see some striking similarities between you and her.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
You notice that Echo has cast aside all semblance of honor, because honor in her eyes is a waste.
Quite.
If you can be thrown away so easily. Archie would know that changelings are naturally immune to being found through normal scrying means.
Silver. Silver. Silver.
Not silver. No, changelings are immune to being scryed normally. They're basically under non-detection all the time.
Yeah, but their skin starts burning whenever they hold something silver, right?
No. be
Or
hurt
is
by
that
any normal means.
shapeshifters?
That's shifters.
Yeah.
Changelings are slightly different. There is a particular type of metal that you need to hurt an archfey. On the other hand, there is something there. But yeah, you get a sense that Changeling extremely dangerous, and Scarlet. I will say this as well. Scarlet.
Yep.
Echo could have taken you. Echo would have been an even fight back in your prime.
Great.
Through all that skill, like very, very talented.
Fair enough.
You know William's crew's backstory.
Hmm.
You know their motivations. You know why they fight for William. And you know that William handpicked them.
Sounds about right.
What do you all do?
I believe I should make a journey to speak with Helm.
Ioun says, "While I cannot send you to see him, I can tell him you wish to see him."
I can meet him where he once stood, if this is what he would like. The crystalline staircase.
I'm Googling because I don't know what it is.
That's where, during the time of troubles, Helm was put as guard because that was the no-no zone for the deities to go to.
Is it called the Crumbling Stair?
It is called... Yeah, I
Send me a
think it's
wiki
the
link, please.
I shall.
It's not called the Crumbling Stair. Please send me a link because I do not know my favorite in history as well as I should.
That is fine. Infinite staircase, my bad.
Infinite Staircase.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Got him. I found it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Cool. Ioun says, "I cannot send you there, but I trust you. You know the way to contact him at somehow."
Yes, I also do know there's an entrance not too far away.
He nods. Ioun says, "Is there anything else I can help you with, Archie?"
I don't think so.
"I'm sorry I could not give you good news. William has chosen quite the team.
They're all have had very contradictory circumstances too to why they've become what they've become.
Says, revenge is a powerful motivator. Blinding, even.
While literally all of them have either been stabbed in the back or have had their family taken from them from false information, or for the, in quotations, greater good,
Hmm.
in the sake of William.
Hmm. Indeed.
Think about it. William lost his family, vengeance is obviously right, especially for the fact that he was to try and stop his lord from rising. Echo got double crossed by the one that they trusted, sort of like Thanraya. Very much like Thanraya. But unlike Thanraya, she, you know, she got to fight back. As for Malice, Malice lost her family at a young age and then got experimented on, and then her own inner demons forced her to pretty much kill herself. And then Alexei is the one I feel bad for the most. False information, blackmail, framing led to his whole family's death. And Tasha probably doesn't know this. Tasha just knows that there is a hit on my lord and I need to protect them.
Iron says, unfortunately, there's no such thing as black or white. It's all shades of grey. Good, good and evil are all relative, it seems.
Well, it doesn't help my situation. Ugh.
But knowledge is power.
It is. I don't know how much we can do for Echo and William. But Malice and Alexei could be redeemed.
That's what I'm saying.
I think William could be redeemed as well, but William, we don't really have the power to get William's family back. And I am guessing, as with William, that Tiamat also has Alexei's family under their large claw-like appendages.
Ioun frowns and nods. I'm afraid so.
But that knowledge could also be to our advantage too, in the fact that you expect to get your family back from the Chaos Dragon Queen herself. If you fail, you die and your souls get consumed. If you survive, you just do her bidding for the rest of your life. Tiamat has all the bargaining chips right now, not us. Unless we can somehow change that. And I don't know how to do that, unfortunately. I am but a mere half-orc upon the material plane. I am no chromatic-headed dragon god, unfortunately. And I hate that. I like knowing things. You know this. I look at Ioun.
Ioun smiles and says, "Oh, I do."
A real head
But one
scratcher,
thing-
this one.
One thing I have observed, Archie, you always find a way.
Yeah, I have to. Who else will? Archie leans back and just blows a raspberry. Before collecting himself and looking forward. Well, anyway.
Charlie speaks up at that point and says, "Those individuals look very powerful."
They are.
I believe I can help.
Yeah. We want you to help.
I wish to save them.
All of them?
I believe they can all be saved.
Whoa. I like your gusto, Charlie.
He tilts his head and says, I do not understand this word.
Your enthusiasm.
Ah. Thank you.
Brings me hope.
And I hope to bring
Right.
them hope.
Anyway, I believe that we have another god that needs to be communed with. One of the protecting variety.
I would like to speak to him and, well, as close to person as I can get for what I need to ask.
I'm pretty sure I can organize that if you want. This room just wasn't for Ioun. You have questions? I have magical power. This place was meant to be fit for all of us. I'm sure if I just tweak it a little bit and you'll be able to commune with Helm if you want.
Archie, you know this to be
Nods.
true.
Mhm.
Archie, you know, you actually have a brief flashback of you preparing this room, modifying this room, because you always had it set up for Ioun in particular. But you recall the plan.
Yeah.
You had about a dozen different gods coded into that giant magical circle above the room. For
Hey,
all the
Matt.
potential contingencies. For who could be brought back? Who would be in this group? They're all in there.
Alright. You ready to go, Tarkin?
I am.
Let us head off. Thank you for your time, Ian.
Ioun bows her head and says, Of course, Archie. And Tycan, Scarlet, Charlie.
Hmm.
It was a pleasure
If
to
you
meet
wish-
you.
It was a pleasure to meet you, and you're welcome back anytime.
A pleasure.
Ioun bows her head deeply, and then suddenly there's a flash, and you're all back in Archie's room.
What tea? Oh.
The cup of tea, the cups of tea are still in your hands.
Yay!
Look, I knows you well, Archie.
She knew. I shall cherish this bountiful blessing from the god.
Look, hey, look, you get the cups too.
I know. Look at him.
She finishes her drink and sets it down. There you
The
go.
moment you set the cup of tea down, the cup of tea, the empty cup disappears
Oh,
in a
never
puff of
mind.
celestial magic.
Better not
Looks
finish
like
your
we don't
tea.
get the cup.
Sorry?
No, I finished the tea.
Wow.
As you finish the tea, the cup disappears.
I guess you don't get to keep the cups. Oh well.
The God bless cutlery is out of my reach today. Oh. So
Charlie
Tarkin
looks. That's weird.
and Charlie. Are you ready?
I believe I am.
Do it!
Is Scarlet ready?
I'm ready.
It nods.
I clapped my hands twice and ushered the steward in here.
The steward appears. Yes, Archie.
How quickly can we get this room set up to initiate with Helm?
The steward looks up and just clicks his fingers, and suddenly the rune on the top of the roof changes.
Very
How
good.
quickly was that?
Very efficient, thank you.
he says, the steward bows and says, I'm happy to serve, and disappears again.
I look at Tarkin. Ready?
I am.
Don't fangirl too hard.
Hmm?
Archie, you would know that For one to communicate with a deity in this room, one must use their own spell slot, as it is their magic.
So, you need to use your magic, Targan, on the
I
rune up there.
shall.
As
I shall 100%.
cool, Tyken, burn a 3rd level slot, please.
I don't know if I have. Oh, I do have access to 3rd level slots. Let's go.
I have an singular 3rd level slot.
Yes, Tyken, you release your magic into the roof.
Yes, sir.
So you focus your divine magic into the roof, your will into the roof. Suddenly, the room fades before you. You see, you are standing on a staircase made of a white celestial steel, reaching up infinitely. Around you are stars. You're in space, it seems.
Good times.
Each step is about 4 feet tall.
Yep.
Behind you, the staircase goes down infinitely and just fades into nothing. Above you, it continues upwards. What do you do?
I'm gonna head up.
Okay. As you proceed up the stairs, and it is a climb.
Yes.
Doing a thing. It is a climb. Tycan, you can do this, no problem. Archie, are you these 4-foot tall stairs? How are you going with them?
I've always needed a physical workout. Now's my time.
All right.
I'm going to use borrowed knowledge on myself to give myself proficiency in athletics.
Yep.
I just realized
all
by
right.
the rules
What?
of jumping, Taika should be able to leap on top of each stair easily because of his athletics and his
Yep.
height.
Tycan can jump up, no problem. It is still a workout, Tycan.
Oh, it is.
But as you're jumping up, Scarlet, you can climb.
I
You
love
clamber up
hearing
each.
those words.
You clamber up each step with ease. Charlie, you watch as Charlie just walks up to the first set of stairs, puts his hands on them, and you hear rotors in his arms move, and he just lifts himself up. About 3 or 4 steps in, Charlie turns to you, Archie, and says, "Apologies, you seem to be struggling.
Yeah.
May I offer my assistance?
Sure. I need help.
Do I have your permission?" And he reaches a hand for you.
Yeah. I grab his hand.
As you grab his hand, he grabs your hand. He puts some magic into you.
Give me spider climb, baby.
He gives you spider climb.
Let's go. I start walking up the freaking stairs. Like,
You begin to go up these stairs. I'm trying to find a good ambient music for this because there should be one. That's a good one. That'll do. As you proceed up these stairs one by one, for what feels like an hour, it's going without end.
Yep.
Tycan leading the way, I presume.
Yep.
As Archie, your spider climb begins to come to an end.
uh-oh.
Suddenly, Tycan, there is a figure standing before you. You could see for miles up this staircase and there was no one there, but suddenly there's someone in front of you. A figure clad in full plate armor, a sword in a sheath at their side, and a massive tower shield that is currently on their back. Standing, arms crossed, blocking the path. This figure is tall enough that it could walk up these stairs like a normal set of stairs. There's no visible skin. It is entirely a suit of armor, but there is a glow of celestial light coming from beneath the helmet.
Lycan
It
would
stands
stop
before you.
and he would kneel and say, Lord of the Unsleeping Eye.
The figure doesn't move for a moment. It says, "My chosen champion, Tycan. You bring others to see me." Its gaze shifts upon you, Archie, Scarlet, and then Charlie.
That I do. O vigilant one.
She just gives a respectful bow.
I bring one who seeks repentance. And I also have something I must ask of you.
Helm turns his gaze to Charlie and says, "Repentance must be earned. But what will you ask?"
We've learned great news, or grave news of a foe. The William Dock. And the people whom he is aligned with. And if we are going to fight him, I will need something. If you have any warriors to spare, or if you can grant me with power, so I may defend the others, anything of the sort is all I ask.
Helm says, "You are my champion. The power I have gifted you is not enough.
He stops for a second, and he thinks to himself, and he says, my apologies. You are correct. It is plenty.
Helm says, "Your foes are great. There is no doubt there. But your strength is greater. Your allies carry great strength." And Helm's gaze falls upon you, Scarlet. And you, Archie. Helm
Oh.
says, you chose to be returned, to leave your paradise of an afterlife.
Yep.
He said that to Tycan, by the way.
I was trying to think of how Tyken would respond. He he would say, I was needed, and I couldn't say no.
Helm says, you do not remember fully, do you?
Only bits and pieces.
I will grant you the memory of that moment. So you may understand. As Helm's gaze falls upon you properly, Tycan, suddenly the memory floods back, and I'm going to send it to you in a message so you can keep it a little secret to yourself.
Ooh.
Ah.
That was the agreement.
All right, give me 1 second, as I have been up from my desk for a few minutes, as I had to go clean something, but I'll be back at my
Okay.
desk in about a minute.
No memento.
Okay. As Tycan is suddenly, his eyes roll back in his head and he's sort of getting a vision. Helm says, there is the matter of this one, as Helm's gaze falls upon Charlie.
I push Charlie forward. I attempt to push Charlie forward.
Charlie allows him to be pushed forward. Charlie bows and says, I am not worthy of forgiveness, but I wish to repent, or try to repent. Helm says, there are those who would deem your actions, Charlie, as a crime. Those who would view your very existence as a crime. What would you do with this second chance of life? And Charlie says, I would help. I would protect as many as I can. Helm nods and says, you would give your life to protect others? And Charlie looks back at you, Archie, seeming to look for your help with this.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of nod to you or say, mm-hmm.
What was exactly said? Sorry, I got like like.
Oh, he's saying no, that's okay. Helm says, Helm said to Charlie, would you give your life to protect others? And Charlie's looked back at you. Seeming to not sure what to say.
I nod. I don't say a word. I just nod towards Charlie, just like in acknowledgement.
Charlie looks back at Helm and says, I do not know what would happen at the end of my life, but I would regardless. Helm says, perhaps the others are wrong about you. Perhaps you are not an abomination. I trust. Sorry, he didn't say that. He says, Tycan, my champion.
Yes. The
Did you get the message,
protector.
by the way?
He
Did
did,
you get the message?
and he just smiles and nods.
Yep. Helm says, Tycan, my champion. I have a task for you to perform.
Anything, my lord.
Guide this construct on its path of redemption in my name.
Yes, sir.
Teach it the meaning of sacrifice, of protection of others.
And so I shall.
And says, you asked for a gift to help.
I did, but
While all the power you have is already within you. Your enemy has received their own gifts, and you receive flashes in your mind of William Dark being given particular boons. From Tiamat herself. You must face him.
I had planned on it. So I do hope I can try to save him. But if necessary, I will do what needs to be done.
That is the burden of a protector. I offer you one gift.
Thank you, God of the Guardians.
The eyes flash, Tycan, as you get a boon.
Ooh.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm just finding an actual ability because I didn't make a note of it. Where is it? Hello, where are you? Scroll. Sorry, trying to find it.
You're good.
There it is. Helm imbues you with an ability to, he imbues you with that ability. You feel yourself become slightly more resilient, Tycan.
Ooh.
You feel like you're warded against death.
Ooh.
Make a note in your character sheet. You are under the influence of Death Ward once a day.
Ooh. I could do Tyken things even more now.
God.
In particular, this Death Ward cannot be dispelled. So someone can't like dispel magic on you to end it before they down you.
I am immortal.
Can't wait for you to get Power Word killed immediately just to survive that.
Wait, if I'm not mistaken, by the way Power Word Kill is written, I think it
Yeah,
goes
it won't
around
work.
it.
Because power goes around it. It doesn't reduce you,
Well,
it just kills you.
fucking perish.
Like, and one of my
I'm
games,
immortal. Power Word kill.
I had a level 20 Druid NPC that the party got the help, and he was a rat form, and the Illithid Lich Power Word killed him, and he insta-died.
But yeah, Tycan, you feel that power wash through. In Archie and Scarlet, you see the power get put into Tycan. Helm then says, I am cautious of giving gifts to my chosen ones. Because one can become reliant on these gifts. You are strong. There is no doubt of it, Tycan. But there is room to grow before the coming conflict. Room to learn. To train. The gaze falls to you as he says that, Scarlet. As Helm says, you have powerful allies among you. Your strength is great, but so is theirs. Learn from them.
Can't agree.
Okay, what do you say?
She says I can agree.
Yep. What does Tycan say to that? Sept? What does Tycan say?
Give me 1 second, I'm being talked to.
Okay. Waiting.
Sorry about that.
Yep, yeah.
What was that he had to respond to?
So Helm said, you are strong, but your allies are also strong.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to give you all the gifts because one can become reliant on the gifts. Asking for more and more sort of idea. Instead, rely on your own strength and rely on the strength of your allies. Your allies are strong. There are many things they can teach you to become stronger. And then his gaze fell upon Scarlet, indicating you could learn from them.
He's still kneeling, but he bows forward and says, "Thank you for your wisdom, oh great guard. I shall do these things."
well.
shall train.
Do you have any more questions for Helm?
Will you
I'm just
please
standing
tell?
here. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Please tell my wife and my daughter I miss them. And that I will be home soon.
He says, I will ensure they are informed. They await your return.
And please give my best to my mother.
He says, I will.
And with that, Tyken will turn to Charlie and be like, are you done here?
Charlie says, I believe I am.
Then we shall
must-
go,
I must learn from you.
and I shall teach you.
Charlie nods. And at that point, suddenly the staircase around you is gone and you're back in the room.
Ward, baby. Says,
You notice something as the room fades.
Hmm.
There is something around Charlie's neck.
Oh, glorious! I was about to say. I hope he has a holy symbol now.
the holy
There is
symbol
a
of
little-
hell.
There is a holy symbol of Helm on a chain around Charlie's neck.
Tyken points at it and then pats him on his robotic shoulder.
Welcome, acolyte. Welcome to the cause.
Charlie looks at it and sort of seems to be confused. I'm not sure what the function of this is.
You know what it is?
This appears to be an amulet with the symbol of the god of protection.
It's a symbol of your hope, as well as your oath.
He
You
says,
should protect that as much as you want to protect everyone else, right, Tarkan?
Again?
Except
Perhaps.
my dialogue.
I am
It's
so
sad.
sorry I was approached.
Okay.
Sad.
What happened? What happened? I'm sorry. I had to answer a
Arch-
question.
Charlie has an amulet of Helm now around his neck that appeared out of nowhere.
I remember that.
And Archie said you should protect that as much as the ones around you. And then looked at you.
It's a symbol of hope.
Simple hope.
He will reach his gigantic arm around Archie and give him a squeeze and say, exactly.
I can
Charlie
imagine you
says-
put your arm around me and look up in the air a little bit and do a little fist bump like, yes!
Yes.
Exactly.
Charlie says, I am confused. If I was made to choose between protecting this, holding the amulet, and you, or others, what should I pick?
Living things come first,
I see.
then holy symbols.
Holy symbols can be replaced, but the thing is, it's a symbol of your passion, your faith, and your hope. Everything that you wish within belief, right?
A good example of it is you want to buy something, you don't have enough money. They point at it and say, well, if you give me that, I will gladly sell this to you. No.
I see. But if I was to choose between saving someone's life or saving this amulet, I would choose the life.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think I understand.
Yes. The thing is, you can also save other people's lives just by having the amulet around you. Faith is a strong power, friend.
Seems to stare at it for a second.
You'll soon see how people see Tyken when we get to Waterdeep. There's a lot of people that look up to this man.
He
Literally.
says, he says, I see.
Not in just the literal sense that he's tall, but the fact that he is a beacon of hope and prosperity in the town.
I understand. Do you plan to depart for this Waterdeep soon?
We're going to be going there now. We've done all the preparations that we need here, and if we need to do anything else, I can just bring us all back.
Oh, would you
May
like
I
to know
request? As
Oh, go
Charlie
ahead.
says, Charlie says, may I request something before we leave?
What would you like?
Access to the workshop, please. I wish to make a modification to this, and he holds up the amulet.
Sure.
I should not take more than an hour.
Okie doke, you have an hour. I'll make
Okay.
sure everyone is prepared, ready to go as the arrow is up.
Tyken's got a face like, please don't desecrate it, please don't desecrate it, please don't desecrate it.
You can follow him if you like.
I will. I'm gonna observe this.
Okay.
I see any
you-
blade, saws, files go anywhere near the actual symbol itself.
Okay. So Charlie makes his way to the workshop. Tyken as well. Scarlet,
Oh.
you grab your things, prepare to head back to Waterdeep.
Yep.
Cool. Can you please, Scarlet, make me 3 Constitution checks? This is your training over 3 days.
Cool. I never opened up her sheet.
Oh dear.
Why is it white? Ah! My eyes!
Oh no, he doesn't have night mode on. Oh no.
Scarlet's
A
blind.
moment of silence for Soul's eyes.
Yes, last sentence in the distance as they just fucking disintegrated.
They
Yep.
just like turn the liquid to fall out of his face onto his desk.
Cool.
Hey.
Scarlet, at the end of these days, I need to look up the actual ability. Where was it in? Was it under where was the unwavering mark thing?
What do you mean?
What were you training for exactly? All I had in my notes was enduring mark, sorry.
So it doesn't end at the end of the of some sort of turn.
Right. Cool. Your training, you figured out how to do it, Scarlet.
It normally ends at the end of my next turn.
It now ends, make a note of this, after 1 minute.
Yes.
And you can mark multiple creatures. So you could mark a bunch and just have it last a minute.
That was already a thing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can mark a bunch of creatures and it will be a minute for each of them. The way you learn this, Scarlet, is by attacking with particular ferocity in order to get their attention locked on you. So when you attack someone really, really hard, that's your unwavering mark kicking in. And once you mark them, they are so focused on you because of how ferociously you attacked that they are forced to attack you properly.
Yeah.
We'll roll for Thanrea's training. But Tyken, would you like to
Yes,
make
sir.
me 3 con saves, please, with disadvantage? This is for the training for 3 days.
Damn it, stupid heat stroke. disadvantage.
Yep.
Alright.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. The story
Cool.
of duality of bad, bad, pretty actually getting better.
Cool. So Tycan, over the 3 days, you managed to get another success towards your resilient con.
Let's go.
Sorry, I put in the wrong column. There it is. And Scarlet has enduring mark, marking that off. Good.
Yeah.
Death Ward, AC, Resilient Con. I'm a punching bag. Have fun,
Yep.
Mr. DM. From one DM to another. Have fun, Mr. DM.
Oh, I've got plans. But yeah, so that's all the rolls done. Archie, you gather your things.
Yo,
You gather whatever you need to gather. Van Rhea gathers her things. Scarlet grabs her things. Tycan, you gather your things and follow Charlie to the workshop.
Yes, sir.
Charlie sees you following and says, "It would be good for you to see this."
Yes, it would.
You watch as Charlie gets to the workshop and takes the amulet off, puts it on the table, and flips it over to the back side of the amulet, which is just like flat metal on the back. Like the front is all engraved with the symbol of Helm, but the back is just solid and flat. It was just Charlie begins working the machinery, forging what looks to be a frame of some sort. Really small. And then you watch as he uses some of the gadgets here to produce a lifelike picture of a little girl
Oh.
who you recognize to be Annabelle. Oh, sorry, you recognize the girl as the one from the vision. Charlie looks at you and says, "This is Annabelle."
Iken's gonna pull out his amulet that has that little locket on it.
Yep.
And he says, "This is my daughter Frida."
He smiles and says, "She looks like you." Where is she now?
She died at this age. Killed by Tiamat cultist. As did my
Charlie
wife.
says, Charlie says, "I am sorry."
You're not. No need for you to be sorry. You're going to help me prevent that from happening to anyone else.
He says, "I see. And I'll prevent what happens to Annabelle from happening to anyone else."
We will make sure that all the good and innocent can sleep sound at night.
Charlie isn't able to smile properly. That's not in his repertoire of facial emotions. But you do get a sense of he understands.
He's smiling with his voice. There we go.
Yes. As you watch as Charlie affixes the picture of Annabelle to the frame and attaches the frame to the inside of the amulet.
This is good. We all need a little reminder to keep us on our feet and ready to fight.
Charlie says, "The reminder is in here," and he points at his head. "Every memory that I have is always at the surface. I cannot forget what I've done. I wish this to be a reminder to others for what I fight for."
You're a fast learner, Charlie.
He says, "My master was very clever. My maker, sorry, was very clever. At that point, he puts the amulet back on and says, "I am ready to depart to this water deep."
You
Is the water deep?
The
And,
hell's up?
and,
Run!
as you walk in, Archie, you hear Charlie ask the question: "Is the water deep in Waterdeep?"
I think it used to be.
Used to be, not so much anymore.
Interesting. A city underwater? How
No.
very curious. Oh,
It's
then
just
why
a
the name
normal city.
Waterdeep? Then why the name Waterdeep? It does not seem to follow.
It's up by the ocean, but the ocean sort of got drained from someone leaving the tap open too long in a gate spell.
Hmm. I wonder why I haven't
Charlie
changed
says-
the name to Water Shallow then.
Or water gone.
The water go bye bye.
Water not so deep anymore. Anyway, jokes aside, let's go. Let's head to Waterdeep. Also, I'd
Charlie
like to
follows.
request a thing,
What is that?
and that is to call it here as we get into Waterdeep.
Cool. Will do. So,
Because
as
I think
you,
it's a good stopping point to get Josh back in. So
it is. Although if you want to go along, Josh will follow, but that's fine. Like Tammy will follow. But with that, you make your way to the teleportation circle. Charlie looks at you, Archie, and says, will the people in Waterdeep be frightened of my appearance?"
no, some people might ask to ride you though.
Should I allow it?
If they're young kids and want to have a bit of fun, sure. You'll make them happy.
That will be good.
Just don't use all your energy. We do have work to do.
My energy reserves have 1,672 years remaining.
Well, I mean, like, don't go off wandering too far. And, we still need you around.
Oh, I understand.
Don't get kidnapped.
Yeah.
I am not a kid.
No, but the kids riding you are. Kidnapped by kids. How unfortunate.
Also slightly ironic.
Anyway, let's go.
With that, you activate the circle and bamf, and you teleport back to Waterdeep. And I'll call it there if you want.
Yeah, I think it's a good stopping point. And then,
Yeah.
Josh doesn't really miss out on too much of, shopping and other shit, as well as, it's going to be easy to sort of go over, for you to go over, the speaking with the gods and stuff, as well as the stuff with Charlie and that, so. But if we go into more detail of, all the Waterdeep stuff, hanging around, doing a heap of talking to a heap of other people, doing shopping and stuff, that just, that'll probably make Josh's mind glaze over a little bit, you know?
Yep. Yep.
I thought it would be good.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you for playing.
Thanks for DM.
Thanks for DM.
You all had fun learning a bit of stuff.
I did. Wow, this is fun.
But it
If you'd
also gives
like-
us the opportunity that if Josh isn't around for next session, we can do the same thing as well. So
Yes.
That's also true.
yeah,
Yep.
so
Is he
Yeah,
sick or something?
I think he's probably either ill or something come up, considering he didn't go into detail. So Josh gets sick fairly easy. So
Yeah, I heard. That's what I was wondering.
yeah, I actually think it's like a medical condition that he needs to check out. But Josh is Josh.
Yeah.
I can't really argue a point. I don't feel well all the time too. So at the moment I haven't been feeling well, but I didn't want to miss 2 weeks in a row. Or I'm running off 3 hours of sleep. So
Yep. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed their backstories, by the way.
I
yeah.
did. That was fun.
Yeah.
I
I-
am fairly determined to save the teenager.
I want
Yeah.
to save Alexei. I feel bad for Alexei. Alexei literally got
Yeah.
killed from circumstance and framing. That's really rough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
I
if
mean-
as soon as Tasha hears this story, Tasha's going to be like, "Oh fuck," you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is Tasha. She could have just be like, "Oh well, oops." It's hard to say. It is Tasha.
Well, the thing is, Tasha. I think Tasha will be like, "I had a job to do, no matter what." But the thing is, like, knowing the circumstance, Tasha will
Yep.
be like,
Yep.
"Want to make amends, probably."
I just
Yep,
don't
yep.
expect too much sympathy from someone whose ex-boyfriend is Grazit.
Yeah.
Tasha has changed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I did mention that earlier. I did mention that a few times. Tasha changed dramatically after meeting Archie.
I don't know if I should
Went
be
from
breathe a sigh of relief or be more concerned.
But
But yeah, yeah. Alexei is a cool idea though. Like, yeah. But yeah,
well,
but it's all like
it's just like it actually reminds me of Fire Emblem Engage, to be honest.
I've not
There's a
played that.
character.
Hmm.
There's a character that is called Yunaka, right?
Hmm.
And when you meet her, she's super bubbly, she's super in front, but she doesn't want to talk about her former life because she
Hmm.
was an assassin, right? And she doesn't want to bring that on anyone. She just wants to be happy and have new friends and actually live a life, right?
Mhm.
And it's really, really interesting. And this is what I sort of see in Alexei, where it's just like, yeah, I put all that behind me to try to start a family and have a normal life, but in the end, it caught up to me. There's some people that still wanted me not around, and it got everyone killed, right?
Mm.
And like, the thing is, he's grudges against Tasha, but like,
Well,
You
it's
know-
against Tasha because the Red Letter, the gang that betrayed him,
yeah,
they're all dead,
yeah,
and he has no way of knowing that it's the Red Letter anyway.
yeah,
All he knows is firebomb on his house. That's it.
yeah. Ooh,
But yeah, it'll be interesting with him because like he's a spy. He's not magically inclined. He's just incredibly skilled at
Yeah.
reading people and things. So
Also,
yeah,
the thing is, when we start talking to him, he'll understand that we're probably telling him the truth. Like,
Mm.
I mean, we would actually have no reason to lie to him.
but also like, is another question is if he wants to believe the truth or not.
He does
Vengeance
the
is a
classic I want
powerful-
to believe.
vengeance is a powerful tool for blinding someone.
Yes, and this is why it's going to be extremely hard for us to reach William without his family.
But not impossible.
Mhm.
But yeah, Alexi's cool. Echo's cool. I like Echo.
Echo got shafted.
Yeah.
Echo is
And
literally just exactly what happened to Thanraya, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah,
But she
William
actually got
Dark-
the fight
yeah.
back.
Mm. Yeah, William Dark has promised to kill the entire Unseelie court in order to get Echo on his side.
Yeah, we're gonna change that though. We have to.
The thing is, William's not the sort of guy to say, I'm going to do this and not do it.
I know. Who would have thought, right? Out of everyone here, I think I would know.
Nah, it's not like you played him or anything.
Yeah. But I like characters that don't have, like, they're not just, I'm evil, kill a baby.
Yeah.
Is that all we're doing today?
That's all we're doing today because Josh isn't here and it'd be easier to catch him up on what we've done rather than do more shopping and interacting with the council or Waterdeep or whatever. And then catching Josh up on all that as well.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever had a I'm evil eat a baby villain is in my current game I'm running on Fridays. They're having to stop Shar from killing Mistra again.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because the
But yeah,
Mistra's
like,
apparently only allowed to live every so often for only a few hundred years before she dies again.
But yeah, like I want to. Yeah, like there is a chance. I will say this: there is a chance for redemption for all of them, or saving, or something like that. There is a chance.
I'll say this now: if we can't save William, 1v1, 1v1 paladin
V1,
fight.
yeah. Yeah, I hope I conveyed like the reason for why they've gone this way. It's not
Yeah,
just eat a baby. It's like it's a valid reason. Like
Eat two
yeah,
babies.
that's very valid.
I mean, if Tycan was in, like Tycan nearly got into the William Dark position.
That's why he wants to have a word with him.
Hmm.
He wants to be like, you can still come back from this. I know the feel. I will personally go into the hells and fuck them up and take your you get your wife's soul back. Belongs to Helm anyway.
Yep.
Two
And
birds, one
Scarlet,
stone.
What?
And Scarlet knows what her father did.
Yeah.
But the question is, will Scarlet acknowledge it or just internalize it?
Well, she knows that he didn't like what he did, but he had to do something. And did his mission according to the code.
The mission was eliminate every member of the Dark family so none of them can lead Tiamat's armies. That was it.
And he did his mission.
Everyone.
He wasn't happy about it, but he did the mission.
Yeah.
So he definitely had regrets after doing so.
Yep. You know, I did, if you recall ages ago. Didn't you hear? Letter from Scarlet's father, if you recall.
Mm-hmm. What about it?
He said that you're better than he ever was.
Oh, because she wouldn't do something like that.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah. Quote from what was it? I think it was the Clone Wars. Good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Order 66.
Yep. Yeah, that was interesting. And Malice, what do you think of Malice, Thanks.
Malice is Malice. Malice just sounds like a literal freaking imperial assassin that was orphaned at birth and then put in the assassination regime in the orphanage church.
Turned into a weapon. And
Yeah.
And Malice is the reason those mind flayers were in the north looking for the Akantaya weapon.
I'm surprised that she's not hopped up on psychedelic drugs just to kill suckers.
But yeah, so those mind flayers you met, when they said they were looking for something to counter the drow weapon, Malice is the drow weapon. Like, that's
Yeah.
that's why they were so terrified.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done?
Hmm.
There's a bunch of dragons around. They should have just kidnapped one of those and fused their elder brain into it, made an elder brain dragon.
Stop.
I ran
All right.
one.
You run a lot of things.
I'm gonna head out.
Thank you for playing, Thanks. See you.
Alright. Thanks everyone for joining. This was this week's session of D&D part 39. Hopefully we're going to have part 40 next week. If not, got a lot of other things I can do. So, see you guys. Hope to see you next week. And tomorrow, I don't have anything to do specifically, so we're gonna do CC10 with my fast redeploy team, which I am still working on Schwartz. So look forward to that. See you then. Bye bye. And I need to fix that.